Best episode 2, as chosen by you guys, coming up right now. Hello everybody and welcome back to a new video where today we will be looking at the winners of my vote for the best episode 2 of Doctor Who. So the vote has just closed today or yesterday, and in this video I will be running through the votes and the winner for what you guys have chosen, and then I will also be discussing my favourite as well. So obviously you my guys may have already realised I am currently wearing sunglasses because I chose to not put any sun cream on this week, and I have been doing a lot of sports days in schools wearing sunglasses, and currently this is what my face looks like. So for the purposes of this video today, I shall be wearing sunglasses just to make it a little bit less obvious of the sunburn on my face. So this week less people voted in the poll, which is a bit annoying, but some people still did vote, which is a good sign. So I will still continue as normal, we'll count the votes of what I've got, and I'll keep pushing in the weeks to trying to get more and more people. As I said in the last video, the more people we get, the better the votes are going to be. So if you've not seen the results for the best episode 1, please check that video out. That video will be on the card at the top and also in the description. So if you've not seen the results for that episode, go and check that one out. So we're going to go straight into the votes for episode 2. So in this poll, only 15 people voted this time round. In comparison to last week's, I think it was 29. So again, less votes, but still, it will still stand. I shall still go through what the results were. So there was a lot less single episodes that got voted. There was one very clear winner. There was one episode very clear, got the most votes. But I'll run through them now. So we've got, let's have a look. In 4th place, with 1 vote each, we have The 10th Planet, The Ark in Space, Mind Warp. So yep, in 4th place, The 10th Planet, The Ark in Space, Mind Warp. In 3rd place, with 2 votes, we've got The Mind Robber and City of Death. So that's quite interesting. City of Death is considered quite one of the best episodes in classic Doctor Who, if not the whole of Doctor Who. So it's quite interesting to see that City of Death only got 2 votes. In 2nd place, with just 3 votes, is The Beast Below, which then leaves in 1st place, with 5 votes, is The Witcher's Familiar. Now that is an interesting choice, because if you watched last week's episode, you would understand. So this week we've gone with The Witcher's Familiar, which again is considered quite a good episode because it's the second part to The Magician's Apprentice, which then follows on the story with the Doctor being captured by the Daleks and Davros, who Davros needs the Doctor's help because he's dying, pretty much, and the Doctor offers his help, knowing it could be a trap, that Davros could be up to something, but he does go along with the plan, and it does actually end up that Davros actually was never dying at all, and he tried to trick the Doctor, which he said he went along with the plan, which, if you believe that or not, so it's up to you. So most people voted for this episode. Again, it's more for the scenes between Davros and the Doctor, the realness between them both. I think it's for the scene where Davros opens opens his eyes for the first time in a long time. So those scenes between those two were quite touching, I think, for most people. But apart from that, I think that was probably the main reason why this episode got chosen. So there we go. The best episode 2 chosen by you guys is The Witcher's Familiar. So now we're going to go down my views, my opinions, what I think is my favourite episode 2 of all time. And I'm going to go through all the episodes now. Again, I have an episode in mind, but it can still change as I speak right now. So we've got here the Daleks, the Dalek invasion of Earth. Yeah, definitely contenders up there. The 10th planet. It's a mixed one. Some people do, some people don't. I'm going to put it up there. So the Abominable Snowman, not seeing it, but again, quite good reputation. Again, Mind Robber, haven't seen that one, but again, quite a good reputation. Doctor and the Silurians, a really good episode with John Pertwee. Curse of Peladon, quite a few good ones in my opinion down here. Keep moving through. Hand of Fear, Sarah Jane's last episode. Again, I've not seen that, but that's quite a good reputation. Again, City of Death, very good reputation. I've not seen that one, so I can't comment on that one. Keep going through. Paradise Towers, okay, maybe not a bad one. You could probably say that's a special mention. The End of the World, not a bad one. Tooth and Claw, not a bad one. Shakespeare Code, quite good one as well. Fires of Pompeii, yeah, really good one. Beast Below, quite decent, maybe an average one. Smile's quite surprisingly quite an alright one, but I'm going to narrow it down to probably this time 3 instead of last time, which were 2. The Daleks, Dalek Invasion of Earth, and I will also go with Doctor Who and the Silurians. These are 3 episodes that I have seen myself, so they're ones I've seen myself, and I do generally think are probably one of the best episode 2s out there. So the Daleks, the second episode in history for Doctor Who, where they introduced the Daleks for the first time with the first Doctor, William Hartnell. Brilliant episode to see the Daleks for the very first time. Eerily captivating. The music was brilliant, and you really just see how alien, how different the Daleks is, and you can see how evil they are with their plan, and it's a really good insight to see the very first time the Doctor meets the Daleks, and it's quite interesting for it being the second episode of Doctor Who. They've been around since 1963. They appeared in the second episode, and see how long they've lasted and how much a big favourite they are. The Dalek Invasion of Earth, really good one where we can see the Daleks invading Earth. You can see the impact that they have, and the battle the Doctor has tried to defeat them, and how much of a hold they've got over the whole of Earth. How they've managed to travel back in time and taken control of Earth. It's got one of the best scenes considered in Doctor Who, when he's saying goodbye to Susan, who's going off to live with David, she's only just met in this episode, where he's just saying that to go off, live your life, be independent. She don't need him. She don't need his granddad. She can go off and live a life on her own. It's about time. She spent too much with him. It's about time she moved on. He moved on. And it's quite an emotional speech in that episode. So a lot of people really love that episode for that one speech alone. And then Doctor and the Silurians again. So I've just finished recording this video, and I, for some reason, was under the illusion that the Master was in the second episode of John Pertwee's era, which is really weird because it wasn't. He only came in from the Terror of the Autons. So instead of just cutting that bit of audio out, I'm going to leave it in there for you to watch, because it's really funny that I don't know how I could have imagined that the Master was even in that story, because he wasn't. Some of you may think I may have confused it with the Sea Devils. No, I don't think I did actually confuse it with the Sea Devils. Both stories are very similar, because they're both two races that exist in the sea who think they own the Earth. But I'm still going to leave it in there because it's quite funny that for some reason I've imagined the Master in the story that we wasn't even in there. So just to correct that, the Master wasn't there at all to spoil things. It was actually really more the humans themselves who actually reacted to the Silurians being there and being hostile, and then it was just more of the Silurians reacting back to their hostility with the Doctor in between, trying to create that peace. So yeah, I'll let you get back to that video, and don't forget to put a like put a like or a comment below, just to express how funny you think that may have been. For me, that's quite funny, because even I knew that the Master was not in that episode, but for some reason I imagined it. Episode introducing the Silurians, which is has cropped up a few times over the years. A really good episode with Jon Pertwee. Jon Pertwee back into action as always. Again, including the Master. It's quite an interesting story. So, which looks at the idea of, technically the Silurians are the owners of Earth because they were there first. They lived there, but the humans, obviously living on the ground surface, they have lived there the most because they've built Earth, they've lived it. So it's the episode basically goes where the Doctor is trying to create peace between Earth and the Silurians, and also the Masters, they're trying to spoil things, trying to create destruction, and it's really, really enjoyable episode. Really good to see for their first episode in Doctor Who. However, I am going to choose for my favourite episode 2 because of that incredible scene with the first Doctor, because of the impact the Daleks had, just the scenes of how they managed to take over the Earth, what impact they had. It's going to be, for me, the Dalek invasion of Earth. So, again, if you watched last week's episode, so we've got episode 1, you guys chose The Magician's Apprentice. Episode 2, you have then chosen The Witch's Familiar. So for the first 2 episodes, you have chosen the two-parters, that two-parter itself. For me, I have chosen episode 1, Remembrance of the Daleks, and then episode 2, I have chosen the Dalek invasion of Earth. So there you go, that's quite interesting. The first 2 episodes I've chosen have been Dalek episodes with 2 different Doctors. So, we're going to leave it there. Today, as I've about to finish this video, I want to put on the poll to vote for episode 3. Trying to get yourself into that as much as you can. I'll put the link that in the description for Reddit. Try and get yourselves involved in that. The more people involved in that vote, the better it's going to be. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Do the usual, like and subscribe. Like I said, if you've not seen episode 1, check the link or the cards. You'll want to see it. And thank you very much, guys. Hope to see you next time. See you later.